So if your confidence is in Christ, it cannot be shaken, because nothing you do can save you, and nothing you don't do can unsave you. Think about it. If you were not saved by your efforts, then you cannot be unsaved. That cannot be undone by your shortcomings. Glory. So there's this question that arises. If the gospel is all these things I said, then why are people offended by it? Especially the gods of men. I call them the pulpit charlatans. The reason is not far-fetched. The reason why they are offended by it is because they cannot manipulate you anymore. You need fear to manipulate people, and the gospel takes away fear. So there's no room for manipulation. There's no more room for control. It demands selflessness, and human beings are naturally selfish. If you are not selfless, if your motive is not clean, the same gospel that you preach would expose you, except if it's not the gospel of Christ. That is why it is always more comfortable, it is always more convenient for them to preach the gospel of fear. And that is why there are so many people that mix the gospel of fear and the gospel of Christ. Sometimes they preach the gospel of Christ in the places that their strength lies. Where it favors them, they preach the gospel of fear, but where it is not favoring them, or where they don't have anything to lose, they now preach the gospel of Christ. That's why we have so many mixtures nowadays, because it takes really selfless person to preach and uphold the gospel of Christ. You all know that people hold you by what you preach. People hold you by your words. You can't come out and say Christ have paid it all. You don't need to give to be blessed. And then in another breath, you are asking people to give, or else God will not bless them. So the gospel kind of requires selflessness from you. It requires discipline. It requires some form of, some form of sacrifice from you. That is why people are offended by it. It doesn't allow men to be men, selfish men that they are, because the natural man is naturally selfish. And the gospel is anti-selfishness. The gospel is a selfless news. The gospel is a news of sacrifice. Is a news of grace.